morning. Happy Monday. Hi, guys. Hopefully, everybody had a good weekend and a good week last week. I was extremely busy last week, but yeah. I had a good week and weekend, actually. I have no complaints, to be honest. I've just been doing me and doing what I have to do. So that's what I've been up to. And I just wanted to hop in and wish you guys a good week since it's Monday again. It seems like the weeks are going by really fast. Like on Thursday, I was like, I can't believe it's already almost Friday again. But that's a good thing, so yeah. But it's a new week, so hopefully everybody has a good week. As I was thinking over the weekend too, like with me and everything, I've noticed, like, as I mentioned before, like, I didn't have a lot of support, to be honest with you guys, like, especially like with my gifts and just certain goals I wanted to reach. I didn't have a lot of support at all. I got talked about a lot because of it, and people tried to discourage me from doing certain things because they didn't want me to prosper, and so I didn't really have a lot of support. And on top of that, I would get bullied about it and stuff, and especially online. And and in general too, like real life too. But I didn't care. Like, I remember the twins, their dad would call me Aquaman. Like just little things like that. And they tried to knock me for it, So, I mean, there's a lot of times where I could have gave up on myself, And there's a lot of times I wanted to be honest. Because it's not easy when you have a lot of people, like, against you or what you're doing, or just trying to bring you down all the time, It's kind of hard to want to keep going, right? But, the best thing that it was hard back in the day, for me to overcome everything, but over time it got easier for me. And it got easier because, I just learned how to just ignore it, like I mentioned before. And I kind of like had to, like, I would see it and it would sting a little bit. Like, it'll make me feel a certain type of way. Like when you see something that upsets you, like you get this burning sensation in your veins where you just want to go off, But like I would feel that, like, at least for 30 minutes. But then I would have to, like, retrain my mind and think of something more positive or just do something that would actually counteract it to where I wouldn't feel that feeling, pretty much have a more positive feeling versus a negative one, and to be able to forget what I just saw, so it wouldn't affect me all day. I had to learn how to train my mind to kind of like ignore negativity like that and keep it pushing. Like, I remember, like, it was like not too long ago, I went on his page on Facebook, and he'll post little things kind of like I feel like it was trying to rub things in my face, but I'm not friends with him on Facebook, and I really don't go on his page ever. I think I did that day just to check up on my kids, but I kind of glanced at his page and he had been posting stuff, and I was just like, this is crazy. I think the last thing I seen was something where I think it was Beetlejuice or someone was sitting in a chair and he's waiting for the elevator, and there's all these numbers, and it's like 697,000 something, and he's sitting there waiting, and he's like saying something like he's waiting for his baby mom or something to get finished or something. Like, I don't know, it was really disrespectful. And so I just ignored it, you know, because it's just weird. So I was just like little things like that. I'm just like, okay, so what are you trying to say, you know? But I just have to ignore it a lot of times, and I don't really use it as like to make me feel like a victim. I kind of like, I have more of a victor mindset, so if I see certain things like that, it might make me feel a certain way for a little bit, but in the end, my mind is, I know how to train my mind to like be stronger and overcome it and not vibe that low, you know, and kind of like mentally vibrate higher, you know, to where it doesn't affect me, and keep it pushing. And that's how I'm able to keep it pushing, you know, and keep working on my goals and working on myself, you know, regardless of what they say. So I learned how to have more of a victor mindset versus a victim mindset, right? And so it's hard to kind of like understand how to maneuver it, you know, but after so much time of having to overcome it, you know, I became like almost a master of being able to overcome it, right? And so that's what I had to do a lot. But by me having that mindset, you know, I was able to transmute the negative energy or the negativity into more positive, to where it would actually help me, and I could use it as a stepping stone to actually help me grow versus descend, if that's the word. So I kind of used it to actually help me versus hurt me, and I was able to overcome their negativity towards me. You know, and it's not easy.
This time I'm like, don't even go there.
You know,
this is like marketing.
it wasn't even easy, but you know, there's always like, I always found a way around it, and regardless, you know, so it never really had the effect that they wanted it to have on me. Pretty much for me to give up. But I never did, because that's just not me, you know. So yeah, I just like, when I see certain things like that though, I just be like, okay, well, I'm bigger than this, you know, and it's not gonna make me be down on myself, you know, and stop, you know. And I think like over time, the more that I dealt with it, the more easier it became for me to not even, like, if I see it, it won't even make me feel a certain type of way anymore. It used to, but not anymore, you know, because I mastered it, how to overcome it, you know, and to where it doesn't affect me. So, I mean, it's easy to like, have like a victim mindset, right? When certain things like that happen to you, right? It's really easy, especially if you have like so many people that isn't for you, you know, or they constantly try to bring you down or whatever, you know. It's kind of easy to be able to have that victim mindset, right? But that's why it's good to understand how strong your mind is, you know, so that way you can learn how to overcome it and not fall into that victim mindset, because it does nothing for you but keep you in the same same situation, and doesn't really elevate you. So it does nothing for you. And so it's good to have a victor mindset and just like, don't let your past shape your future, pretty much. Like, be able to overcome it, you know. And it's pretty much breaking the cycle. You have to break the cycle, right? So when you have a victim mindset, it's easier for you to fall into the same patterns, right? That aren't good for you, or not do anything at all because of it, or have self-pity, you know, and which causes you depression, and it causes you not to be motivated neither. It makes you lose motivation, because you're always in that victim mindset, because if you're in a victim mindset, you're not going to be positive, and it stunts your growth pretty much. So you have to learn how to overcome it and not follow the same cycle. You have to break the cycle and, don't let your past shape your future. And like, by doing that, you have to overcome it and be able to, I use my past pretty much as stepping stones to help me grow, instead of being a victim of my past and letting it overcome me, and take over my life. I refuse to let that happen. I was like, no, not today. So by me actually using it to elevate me in a way, by helping everybody else, I was able to help it like elevate me in a way too. So I kind of worked with it instead of letting it work against me fully, to where I was like a slave to it, So now I'm like, I feel like I have more control over it instead of letting it have control over me, if that makes sense. So I had to learn how to do that. And the best way I always say to do that is not let, your past shape your future. Or let people that are negative shape your future. You're in control of your own future, so it's up to you. They could say whatever they want, but in the end of the day, it's up to you of how you want to navigate. You can either fall or rise. I chose to rise because, like, yeah, right, I'm not about to let that happen to me, without doing anything about it. So, and the craziest thing with me, like, it was really, I think the hardest thing for me was my body, like, literally, because I guess it's because of the way my body is shaped or whatever. Like, a lot of people, I guess, they always have something to say about my body, or they'll always act like when they would say Ruth, like what he did on Facebook, like about having all these men or whatever, and he's waiting forever for me because I have all these men. And it's like, I don't even talk to anybody. Like, how would he know I have all these men? It's like he just doing that because my body, probably, So I would get a lot of stuff for my body because of how it is, I guess. So like, a lot of people would say certain things about me or make up lies regarding me misusing my body, just because of the way that it is, and everybody else will probably jump on the wagon because of how my body is shaped, right? Like, oh, she probably do that, but in all reality, I don't do anything. So they always attack my body, or they always say I'm misusing it or doing something, I used to hate it because back in the day, I used to be like, man, I love my body, but I couldn't stand it at the same time. So it was like a gift and a curse at the same time, right? A lot of people loved it, and then a lot of people hated on it, So I always get crap for my body. It's so crazy because I remember, like, I think it was on Valentine's Day one year. I remember I was at my mom's house, and I was about to go to work, and or no, it was the night before Valentine's Day. Her and my little sister, they went to the store and they bought all these leggings, and I used to love leggings, like the ones with the decorations, And so I guess they went to the store and they bought me a pair of leggings for Valentine's Day, and they're red and they're like really thick. They're really nice, and I think they had hearts on them, black hearts, but they're really cute. And I remember I was trying them on, and my mom at the time, she was like whispering to my sister when I was like, I had the pants on, right? And I seen her whispering to her, and like they're rolling their eyes up my legs, both of them. And I was just like looking at them weird, like, why are they doing that, And like, she's like whispering in her ear, like laughing at my legs. So they're just talking about my body, my legs. And I was just like, but they're like looking at me messed up, you know? And so I was just like, that's weird. I would never forget that day because I thought it was weird. And I was just like, that's weird, you know? And then my uncle, one of my uncles, he always talked about my body too. And I remember I was staying at with my grandpa for a little bit. And my uncle would call sometimes, but he would talk about me all the time. And I don't even know him like that, you know? Like, I was never really around him that much for him to even know any information about me, you know? But he always talked about me, like, really bad. Even, like, his wife didn't even like me, and I never met her, you know? It's just certain things like that. I would go over there, and they'd just be looking at me weird. And I'd just be like, why is everybody looking at me weird? Or they have attitudes with me. And I don't even know these people, you know? But my uncle, he would talk about me a lot, like, all the time. And he wouldn't say it to my face, but I would hear what he'd be saying, you know, through other people in their conversations. Like, I literally felt like a celebrity within my own family. That's how much I was talked about. So I would hear him talk about me a lot. And I remember I was staying at with my grandpa before he passed. And my uncle was on the phone with him. I had seen my uncle, I think, at Walmart, like, the day before. And I was with my grandpa, but I was at a different side of the store. And I seen my uncle. And I tried to dodge him because I knew that he'd be talking about me, you know. He probably didn't know I knew, but I knew. And so, like, I tried to dodge him, like, walk away from him, you know. But he seen my daughter. And he's like, oh, my God, come give me a hug. And I was just like, oh, my God. And he didn't even say anything to me. He just act like, I don't know. They never say it to my face, you know. So, like, they just fake. And so I was just like, okay. And so he hugged my daughter or whatever. And then I left. And me and my grandpa went back home. And then I heard him on the phone, my grandpa, I think, and he was saying something like, he told my mom, I think, or someone, I think my mom had told me he said this. So he was like, oh yeah, I seen Danica with her big fat belly at Walmart. Her belly's so huge, it was hanging over her pants. She's so disgusting. Like, what? No, it wasn't. You know, I wasn't even that big back then, you know. And so he would just talk about me like that, you know. And it's always about my body. And so I always, like, thought my body was like a gift and a curse at the same time, you know, because, you know, people always talk about it. But now I just know I don't feel like that, you know. I just learn how to overcome it and, you know, ignore it. So, I mean, it was really easy for me to give up on myself, you know, because, you know, it's really easy whenever you have, like, so much negativity like that, you know, but you just got to learn how to navigate, I guess. I don't know. But that's what I think. It's my thoughts. Yeah, you have to learn how to navigate because if not, like, your mind is so powerful to where if you don't learn how to train it, you know, it'd have been easy. It's easy for everyone else's opinions to stick with you or onto you, and then you'll start acting it out pretty much through them, pretty much. So, like, I learned that your mind is really powerful, right? So, like, I could have, like, literally sat there and be like, okay, maybe my stomach is huge, I am fat, you know, and then just fed into it because I was depressed and believed it, you know, and didn't do anything for myself as far as, like, working on my body or, like, elevating myself pretty much, you know, because I could have, like, had that victim mindset, you know, and, you know, acted out everything that they portrayed me as being, you know. But I had to learn how to train my mind, you know, because back in the day I used to be like, okay, maybe I'm a horrible person. There's a lot of times where I questioned myself when a long time ago, you know, a lot. Because I'm like, if everybody's saying this about me and the family, like everybody, then something's wrong with me, you know? But then I would think, I'd be like, but I'm not doing anything. So how is it me? So I would be confused a lot. And so like, I don't know, it was just really easy. Like back then, I think I felt more victim back then. So I would drink more or like do certain things, but like, okay, whatever, I'm so sick of this. And then I'll just feed into it because I'll be depressed and get upset about it, right? But when I separated myself, I was able to see more of what was really going on, you know? And I was just like, that's not me, you know? That's just what they want me, how they want me to be, right? And so I had to learn how to train my mind and be like, that's not me, and act out who I really am, you know, instead of acting out what they wanted me to be, you know. But by me separating myself, I was able to see my true potential pretty much. And I was able to realize that it wasn't me, you know. And then I was able to think for myself and like, without hearing all the negative remarks all the time, you know. And so I started being able to act out who I truly am versus who they wanted me to be. And so by me training my mind, you know, I'm able to like not let the negativity affect me anymore. So if they do say anything like that, I just be like, okay, whatever, that's not me, you know. And so like I just continue on the path of who I truly am, my true authentic self, which I've always been. But now I actually see what was going on, you know. It's even better for me to ignore it. So your mind's powerful though. Because if you think like you are like that just because what other people say, it's easy for you to act it out and be that way. So you got to be really careful how you think of yourself, right? So yeah. And don't let everybody else dictate your life pretty much. Because of their own selfish wants and needs, you know. So yeah. Good morning. So I just wanted to come in and talk about that a little bit, you know. So pretty much, I mean, you could literally be whatever you want to be as long as you put your mind to it, and actually put the action towards it. You can't just think about it and not do anything about it, right? So you have to think about it, put your mind to it, and know that you can do it, as I always say. And then eventually it'll manifest in your life in one way or another, right? But if you constantly think negative about yourself and think that you can't do certain things, or take on other people's opinions about you, then it's easy for you to be that way too. So that's why you got to be careful how you think of yourself, and just try to think more positive of yourself, because that's when you get the best results. And that's just from my experiences, from what I've learned. So yeah. Anyway, I think I'll talk to you guys heads off enough. So yeah, I think I'm done. I'm gonna get out of here and do me. So yeah, hopefully that helps someone out there. And I'm gonna go finish my day and do me, and hopefully you guys do the same. I love you guys. I'll be on later this week, and if not, I'll see you guys soon. But I love you. Have a good day. Bye.